Wednesday, 30th of August, Amy Hogan, Rebekah Graham, and Juliana Carvalho from Access Matters Aotearoa made an oral submission to the Social Services and Community Select Committee on their petition to strengthen the Accessibility for New Zealanders Bill. They explained that the Minister for Disability Issues, the Honourable Priyanka Radhakrishnan, stated that following feedback received during the Select Committee process, she is seeking advice on the Accessibility for New Zealanders Bill from officials and does not intend to progress this any further before the election. Our community celebrated this because it means we have an opportunity to make a bill that is fit for purpose so the New Zealand government meets its international obligations under the UN CRPD, particularly Article 9, which states that accessibility should be included in domestic legislation. By signing the UN CRPD, Aotearoa New Zealand promised to enable persons with disabilities to live independently and participate fully in all aspects of life, including establishing minimum accessibility standards for public and private sectors. This country has not yet fulfilled its obligations. Access Matters Aotearoa understands that the committee listened to what the disability community was saying during the submission process. The committee asked MSD officials what would happen if the petition's definition of enforceable standards really happened, or what would happen if we had an independent regulator. MSD officials disregarded the views of disabled people. MSD gave poor advice, perpetuating the status quo, and did not create the conditions to accelerate accessibility legislation in this country. Sadly, disabled people will still not have the same rights as non-disabled people unless Parliament passes stronger accessibility legislation that removes barriers that prevent us from achieving our potential. Hundreds of disabled people shared their stories during the hearings, demonstrating why we need a strong accessibility law. People with disabilities will continue to seek justice through the Human Rights Commission, but this is a time-consuming process and doesn't create systematic change. We need a system that builds accessibility and makes it easy for people to report and remove barriers. The journey towards inclusivity must start now, preventing the creation of new barriers using public funds. We already know how to draft an effective accessibility law for New Zealand. The Making New Zealand Accessible, a Design for Effective Accessibility Legislation research report shows how this could be done. Based on this report, Access Matters Aotearoa drafted an example accessibility bill to show what a bill with accessibility standards, a regulator, a barrier notification system, and a disputes resolution process could look like. This example bill could be the starting point for discussion with disabled people about co-designing the future accessibility system. This is about upholding the very essence of human rights and fundamental freedoms. We will continue to campaign until New Zealanders get the law they need and deserve.